Hello again, and welcome back to the Tag Team Chumps YouTube podcast. My name is Jack. I once again, and always will be in. It's a great start. I'm joined by my friend Reese,
Hey,
and you know what? We haven't posted in like 2 weeks, and that is completely my fault. There's no getting around that. I just I got a bit too busy. And you know what? It gave us some time to think. So obviously previously we basically just talked for 2 hours about every single fight, and no one wants to hear that because especially half the time we would say something and we wouldn't have even enjoyed the fight. So we're just going to talk about things that we've liked. um but you know what, I think we just start with a thing from a couple of weeks ago, um which I actually really enjoyed, and I hope it's more and more. Finn Balor. I want to hop right into Finn Balor because I really enjoy Finn Balor race.
a big thing to jump into. I mean, Finn Balor is very, very. He's important to the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and I get why he's still going that heel road. But I feel like that match in Belfast was a brilliant match. To me, yeah, it shows what Finn Balor's always shown, just his quality in the ring. Yeah, and on the mic, he's not so bad either. I mean, those promos he's been cutting, been pretty good. I mean, I'd say he's pretty up there, but given the way they're headed with WrestleMania, I don't know if everyone's seen Raw yet. Given the way they're headed with WrestleMania, it's not looking likely Finn Balor is going to win the World Championship when he faces Punk again.
I haven't seen Raw yet. But yeah, it was one of those where obviously at the time they kind of just seemed to chuck Finn Balor in a hole and not kind of realizing, at least I think, that he would he would take to it so well, and the crowd would take to it so well, because they the way that even Punk said it, like they basically just don't book Finn, and it's a shame really because I love Finn, I love the Judgment Day, like so it's just disappointing that they don't really book him that much, and it was a massive miss for me in the Royal Rumble.
It was. I mean, especially given the way it was, the way the Rumble ended. To me, I didn't like it. The way the
Oh
Rumble went for the majority of it, I didn't like it actually. The whole show, apart from the women's Rumble, was the only one that had a bit of significance to it and a bit more sort of important bits, given
yeah,
that Jey Uso didn't even talk about being eliminated by his brother or
yeah.
anything like not brother, cousin. Sorry, I mean there's not many of them. I forget which one's which these days. But yeah, I mean didn't even talk about that. But yeah, obviously I know you haven't seen Raw. It's not really a spoiler, but Raquel does mention it to Liv about it. But not much comes of it. To me, Finn Balor, if given the way Raw's panned out, it's annoying because you know Finn Balor's not going to win because they're already setting up Punk for Mania, and that to me shows that Finn Balor's not even being thought about. Finn Balor may squeeze in there, but you can't put him against Drew. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, unless you got like Ireland versus Scotland and you really want to go that route, but like the Americans don't understand that.
Yeah.
No offense to any Americans, you just won't understand the history between the United Kingdom and
Yeah.
the British Isles. That's just how it is. But yeah, they're not going to go that route.
No,
They're obviously going to stick with Punk Balor, and Balor is unfortunately going to fall victim to his very, very slightly funny nickname, Pin Balor, and he's going to eat a pin again.
yeah, probably. And yeah, it is just disappointing. Like, he would have an incredible run, but the only hope that we've got for Finn doing something substantial at Mania would unfortunately fall victim to my favorite wrestler, which would be if he goes with if he starts thinking a lot about what Punk said about abandoning the Judgment Day, and then like there's a fight at Mania between Finn and Dom.
Agreed. I mean, I do like that aspect because the Judgment Day, as much as I love it, and as much as I love how it's been, it needs to finish at some point soon. It's been around since 2022. It's 2026, where it's 4 years into a faction. It's actually surprisingly longer
Yeah,
than the original Bloodline lasted, which is a bit weird given how many members have changed through the Judgment Day, and the leadership has changed about 4 times.
yeah. Like the only consistency has been Finn and then Dom.
Yeah,
But it's one of those where it's a safe faction. Like it's one of those factions where you can put a belt on them or you can take a belt off of them. They can have storylines or they can have no storyline. They can fight with each other and then be blood brothers the next. It's a very safe faction which eventually when they do separate it, they will need to have something replace it. So I don't think they have any plans to completely remove it yet. Like if anyone leaves, like it will be for a singles run, and then it wouldn't surprise me if eventually they then came back. Um, but yeah, it's one of those where for me the Judgment Day won't go anywhere. But I mean, I won't lie. Other than that, I can't. I don't really have much else good to say about anything leading up to Rumble. I mean, there was a little bit with the US title. Obviously the Miz getting involved in that. Obviously the embers of a feud with Ilya and Miz. But other than that, I don't really remember much unless there's something big I'm forgetting.
not necessarily. I mean, the only real big thing was the lead up to the Rumble. So we're talking Saturday night's main event mainly. I would say the only real big thing there was going with obviously the Drew Fatu
Mm.
Cody thing, and then you've got the Fatal 4 Way that happened, but both those were sort of linked together. And everyone who wasn't going to win the Fatal 4 Way was going to be in the Rumble. We all knew that.
Yeah.
And then we knew Cody and Fatu were going to be in the Rumble anyway. We knew Roman Reigns was going to be in the Rumble. We knew everybody was going to be in the Rumble. Basically, everyone who was in the men's Rumble, we knew were going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Apart from a couple luchadors, which to me just is like, yeah, great. If you watch Triple H, lovely to see. Just bring back a bit of nostalgia. I mean, you've got that TNA relationship. You could have brought back Jeff, just even if it's just for the Rumble. It just would have been nice to get a pop from that really, really boring Saudi crowd.
Yeah, we had nothing from TNA. No Jeff, no Joe, no Leon. It was criminal, to be honest with you. Like some of the names that they left out of WWE, some of the names like La Parca included in from AAA. No NXT representation. It was criminal. It was awful. It was
No, it
basic.
was.
I don't really know how to describe the men's rumble, which I think we will just actually go into because it started off really good. Like first of all, especially after the fumble the night before, no one actually expected Braun to be number one. Everyone thought Braun was going to be number one, but then Braun was number two, so it wasn't really a big deal. But then Braun gets stomped. Before we continue, who was that in your opinion? Who stomped him?
In my opinion, well, I'll say this. I was looking at the guy's hands to see if I could get a bit of
I kept looking at his hands too.
Get a bit of a pigment off him. Part of the lighting just kept making the color, like his pigment change, and I couldn't.
Yeah,
and I couldn't really get a thing on him. To me, you could play it off as a few things. You could play it off as it was Theory. You could play it off as if it was Seth, and Theory was working with them all along. You could play it off if it was just Seth on his own. Could have been LA Knight, really. I mean,
He was too tall for LA Knight.
yeah,
Too slender for LA Knight. LA Knight, you would have seen his shoulders at the very least.
it was too tall for Seth. So
Are we thinking the same person?
Logan Paul.
Yeah. If it's not Logan in the end, it was Logan under that mask, at the very least.
It
If
may
it's not,
have been.
if it's not Logan in the end, it was Logan under that mask. He is he is wearing a future one. They get Bronson Reed to do it. It's very obvious. But yeah, obviously, Braun gets stomped, gets thrown in the ring, gets thrown out of the ring. So I don't know what they're planning with that. I don't know if that was a case of, like, obviously with what was going on with Braun leading up to it, where, because let's be honest, I fully thought it was going to be Braun winning the Rumble, and it it really annoys me that Roman just turns up and he's like, it genuinely feels like Roman turns up and goes, I want to win, and they'll go, absolutely, sir, whatever you want.
It is like that, unfortunately. I mean, it was being honestly, Triple H doesn't have a clue what it's like to be on the other side of this. Mr. Reign of Terror, Triple H did the exact same thing with Vince McMahon. Pretty much, it was like if you wanted the World Championship, he'd get it. He had the World Championship in 2002 to 2004, about a total of like 16 times. It feels like. Obviously, I know it wasn't 16 times, but that was maybe over exaggerating. But with that. I did predict Roman to win the Rumble, and I predicted Liv.
Oh
Thank
yeah, Liv was a very very obvious choice at this point. Like, she came back, she was getting screen time. It's like, if you're giving her number 2 again, it's criminal.
yeah, it was. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Loved the Tiffany Stratton return. Loved the Bellas being back. Don't get me wrong. There are obviously that's just nostalgia, but it's nice to see. There was also a surprise entrance. It was Brie Bella and Tiffany Stratton. They were the two surprises to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know Tiffany wasn't actually injured, but I was expecting Bianca Belair. And no, she was on like
Oh.
injury, like pretendy injury.
Well, I won't lie, then sold it very well for me, especially with like the little lead up to the fight before with Jade Cargill. Sold it
Yeah,
really well for me. Then I won't lie.
it's already did well. I, to be honest, I had Jordan Grace to have the most eliminations, and I was very poorly wrong because she got chucked out quite early, and I was quite disappointed with that because I'm a big fan of Jordan Grace. And I believe I'm trying to think who the Iron Woman was in that match.
For the women,
Charlotte Flair. I was right with that one. I said, well, I say I was. I'm going to say half right. I predicted that it was either going to be Alexa or Charlotte being the longest woman in that match. Charlotte, everyone. Well, you either love Charlotte or you hate her. Really, me, I'm on the side of that love Charlotte sort of side. She's brilliant and bold take. In ring, she gets my attention more than Ric Flair ever did.
yeah,
And but then again, I was born 2002. I missed most of Ric Flair's career. I only really watched the latter stages of it. And yeah, he wasn't obviously, he was old. Well, I say latter stages, it's still going on now at this point. He's retired about 12 times. But yeah, that's not the point. With Charlotte, great wrestler. And I'm happy she didn't win the third time because I think it's too early for the women's rumbles to have someone win 3 times. Because he only started in 2018, 2017, I think. And that's only, what, 9 years max ago. You've had someone win 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's a bit too quick. But unfortunately, there was a new winner. And with the last 3, we were guaranteed a new winner, which was great. Like that. I like the idea of, seeing that, potential new winner sort of thing. Which brings me on to the final 4 in the Royal Rumble, the men's. I didn't like the final 4.
No, we had a conversation about this already. The final 4, like, As stupid as this is going to sound, out of the final four, I genuinely would have preferred Logan Paul to win out of Gunther, Randy, Logan, and Roman. Like it was one of those where it was like I don't know. Like I would have been very happy to see Randy in the 1v1 with Drew, but for him to win the Rumble, I just nah, I would have very much rather Logan out of the four of them, to be honest. But I mean, ignoring the final four, I can't. Obviously, we did have a conversation about this. Obviously, personally, I have changed my answer, I think. But who did you actually want to win the Rumble?
Who do I want?
Yeah,
The ruler. Just had to be Oba. I just like it changed. I think. To be honest, initially, I did want Finn Balor to somehow sneak his way in and win it.
yeah,
But once seeing how Oba was starting to perform, like I've not seen too much of Oba. I'm not the biggest NXT guy. I've seen a bit in pieces as much as I can, but he was amazing. He was brilliant to watch. As much as I disliked the fact that he eliminated my boy Matt Cardona, loved Matt Cardona, loved Zack Ryder. Still, another Matt Cardona gets squashed.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's happened. That's it. We can't do much about that. But obviously, Obafemi. And onto my sort of final four thing that I was about to get to. As much as, I picked Roman Reigns to win it, doesn't mean I want them to. It was literally like my fourth choice out of the final four.
yeah.
And Logan Paul would have been my third choice, believe it or not.
Oh, you wanted Randy to win it.
That's who I wanted to out of the final four.
Yeah.
Who I kind of. I wanted Gunther to win. I really, really did. I wanted to see. I want to see everyone get mad about it on the internet. It is crazy when AJ Styles got retired, when John Cena got retired. Could you imagine if he retired AJ Styles and then won the Rumble?
No,
The
because
internet would have went ballistic.
you're saying that now and it's annoying me. So, but
The
no,
Ring General.
no, stop it. But I mean, so for me, I don't remember who I said originally. Obviously, we had this conversation like a week ago, but looking back on it now, they were never going to do it because it'll probably just end up happening anyway. But I would have loved to see Jacob Fatu win it. I'm really enjoying him since he's been back. He's just like, as much as he said like, he's got his chaos under control. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's more chaotic than ever, and I fucking love it.
I love it as well. I do as well. To me, though, I'm not the biggest Fatu guy. It's just my very, very. I'm not. I'm just anti-bloodline, really. I'm just really against the bloodline. I feel like they all, they all originally stole from The Rock. The Rock made himself like The Rock was nothing to do with the Anoa'i Fatu family
Yeah,
until like recently when the bloodline started to form. He had his own thing. He had the Nation of Domination. He had the Rock and Sock Connection. He was his own guy for
yeah.
so long. He won 9 championships in this, well, 8 actually, in the space of about 6 years. If he did not go to Hollywood, he would have won 20.
Oh yeah,
I'm not even kidding. And genuinely do think I like The Rock. And then they've all started ripping off Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has his own sort of thing. Solo Sikoa's spin-in solo is a knockoff Uranagi that Roman Reigns used to do. And then Solo came in and then he stopped doing it. So Solo could do it. Samoan Spike, rip off of Umaga. Jay's Spear, rip off of Roman Spear, which is a rip off of Edge's Spear, which is a rip off of Goldberg's Spear.
yeah.
To me, all the Bloodline's moves are stolen from somebody else or someone down that bloodline. Like Uso Splash, Jimmy Superfly Snooker. Nia Jax has her Annihilator where she jumps off setting rope, sits on him. Yokozuna's Bonsai drop. Yeah, Yokozuna's from Japan in character, but like we all know he's part of the Anoa'i dynasty. It's just rehashed moves because a lot of they're just been reused for the reason that these people are long gone, like 20 years now. So the
Yeah.
new generation can use these moves. Like if I start, like the only reason people complain about the spear being overused is because they didn't do that with the spear. They
Yeah.
let everybody use it. That's what gets me with some wrestling moves. Like there's only two people doing the 619 now, but I guarantee in 20 years' time, if no one's doing it, I'll give it to somebody else.
Yeah, probably. I will say though, obviously, they're going the whole like bloodline and Samoans. It's just going to keep growing. Obviously, they've got the OG bloodline, apart from Sami Zayn. Um, they've got the current bloodline, which he literally just brought in a load of Tongans, literally. Um, and then obviously there's even more like that everyone wants. I mean, I won't lie, I'd love to see Zilla Fatu, but at the same time, I don't because it's just another one, and it's
Do
like
you mean Zillatonga?
it's like just like stop it, just have some originality. Just stop bringing all these different members of one family because
Agreed.
at this rate they might as well just do fucking Samoan Wednesdays or something like where they just have
Someone Saturday,
yeah
like Super Saturday.
yeah. But back to the Rumble anyway. I think it ended really quick as well. Like obviously,
Fun stat. Fun stat. There we go. Charlotte Flair's entire length that she was in that match was
mhm.
actually longer than the men's Rumble entirely.
That always seems to be the case though. Like the at least recently the women's and the Ryan Survivor seems to be a lot longer. Wait, how long was she in the Rumble for?
Ooh, that's a stat I'm not sure actually about. I'm normally on top of it with these. She was in the Rumble around 50, 54 minutes, 50 something, 60s, maybe an hour four, I think maybe. Um,
Well, the men's Rumble was an hour and 30 minutes, so she wasn't in there longer than the men's.
the men's Rumble was an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, apparently.
No, it's just so I've had a look here on the Google. You got a Charlotte Flair Royal. I've typed Charlotte Flair Royal Rumble length. It covers it with fun fact: Charlotte Flair lasted in the women's Royal Rumble for 59 minutes 49 seconds, which is longer than the length of the entire men's Rumble, with 58 minutes and 20 seconds. That was posted on Reddit 2 days ago.
Hmm. How long was Charlotte in the Rumble for? Oh, yeah,
Fifth,
there it is.
no,
59 minutes 49 seconds. Yeah. Um.
again, Charlotte
Well,
being Charlotte, getting her own time in there, even though she's not going to win it. But yeah,
did you
so
see who the men's Iron Survivor was?
men's Iron Survivor, I believe, was Javon Evans.
It was Jovan Evans. I think it was 40 minutes and 58, only just beating Obafemi by a minute and a half. Sorry,
Just beating the
by almost
unit.
2 minutes. And everyone else, wow, is that third? Third was Logan Paul at 25 minutes. So you had Javon at 4. Oh, that's a lie. Javon at 40, Auber at 39, Cody at 36, and then Logan at 25.
Yep, there's Cody Rhodes again. And guess what? Back onto the Rumble and back onto Cody. He was nerfed again by the Saviour, the Scottish Saviour, Drew McIntyre, kicking him square in the head. Loved it. Loved every second of it. Genuinely was the best thing to come out of that Royal Rumble, and he wasn't even in it.
Very true. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, the men's rumble was just so lackluster. It was disappointing, like to say the least. Like but it's annoying because it is without a doubt my favorite PLE, and that is including WrestleMania.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean, I can see why. I'm not gonna question people's favorite PLEs unless you tell me something like Battleground. But yeah, if you're gonna say it's Chamber, I get why. Chamber's always really good. You know, lots of people being bounced of cages put through stuff. Yeah, great. Royal Rumble, you know, you got your stereotypical love man battle royale. TLC when it was around, great. Survivor Series War Games, can't really question it too much, but SummerSlam always good. SummerSlam can be better than WrestleMania some years.
yeah,
But yeah, I can see why Royal Rumble is your favorite. To me, um, I'm gonna go back with. I'm gonna go with Elimination Chamber, but slash No Way Out when it was like both. Like when it was like just in that transition stage of being changing from the name No Way Out to Elimination Chamber,
yeah,
because the road to WrestleMania was made so much better when they added that the Elimination Chamber match in the middle after the Rumble. It made the champion not just sit there from Rumble to Mania,
yeah,
and it made it better. And that's why I liked it. And also, Elimination Chamber matches are notorious for great title changes. You know, my favorite Edge won his first championship after a chamber when John Cena looked like he was half dead, and yeah, he came and cashed in because you could tell that I'm a big fan of the heels. If you know, I was a fan of Edge at that point. At
yeah.
the height of John Cena, I was an Edgehead. So with Royal Rumble, why is it your favorite pay per view, though?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It's just one of those where even though 90% of the time you can kind of predict it, it's one of those where, like, obviously with the majority of the time, obviously there wasn't really any in the men's this year, but a majority of the time there's surprise comebacks, one off appearances. Sometimes like last year, Speed was in the Royal Rumble, for God's sake. Like, it's like a lot of the time you can predict the winner, but you can't always predict everyone that's going to be in the Rumble. Obviously, sometimes people are left out, sometimes people are included that you definitely don't see the point in. Um, like this year, for example, like where was Mello? Where was Kit Wilson? Where was Finn Balor? But why did they include La Parka? Why did they include the Miz? Why did
Meanwhile, we had a football team of luchadors.
Yeah, like there's literally six of them. But I think you know what? One of them, which obviously was a debutant, and you know what? I looked at him and I'm like, I'd even say this to your face. You could crush me like a bug, but Royce Keys looks like the most basic wrestler I've ever seen in my life. He looks,
Um,
he looks, he looks boring.
I see your
He doesn't
point. I
do
see your
anything.
point. He seems like a bit of a rehash of Big E, and that's just like because he's a guy who's big and he's
Big,
just come in with
muscle.
no real like past other than his AEW. I mean,
Like I don't, I
I
don't,
don't mind him. I've
I
seen
don't.
him in AEW.
I don't want this to sound wrong, but him and Bronson Reed stood next to each other, and if it weren't for the skin color, they could have been twins. Like they stood next to each other at one point, and it's like they've just brought in a big muscly guy who is gonna probably be slow. Like all I saw realistically from that Rumble was realistically the young the young upstart newcomers mostly got overshadowed. Like obviously I'm glad Obafemi started it because um after was it Damien? Yeah,
Yeah, it
after
was Damien.
Damien came in, obviously slowed down, didn't really do much else, and then unfortunately Brock Lesnar came in and started throwing him about the ring. Shock. Brock Lesnar ruins another young upstart, and throws him out the ring as well, which I think was just pathetic. But I was very happy that Javon Evans was in there for so long because I absolutely love Javon Evans.
He's just, I don't know. He's just constantly bouncing,
Bouncing,
like
bouncing.
he's bouncing around my head. Honestly, like the first thing when I think of Monday Night Raw is what's Javon Evans doing this week, and
Yeah.
that says something. And to me, the second thing I think of is ironically is Orba gonna appear?
Oh, which he did, which has annoyed me because you were right.
Yes,
Yeah.
once again the prediction master
No, but
was right.
like, as I mean, obviously since Drew took the title, he's been his like little snippets started appearing on Raw.
Yeah.
Like when Drew took the title, so it was like, all right, cool. Like obviously they're not gonna run back Oba versus Cody, but I'm interested to see where he slots in. Obviously when he becomes more of a a stable character.
Yeah, when he becomes a bit more permanent, I think with Orba, he could. I don't know. At the moment, I feel like it's just a bit strange. I feel like they should give him a little bit of a program where he goes and squashes a few people.
Yeah,
Maybe stick him in the chamber. Maybe have like three people all put him through a pod to eliminate him, and then like he gets a program at Mania with Brock.
will he fit in the chamber?
I don't know if he'll fit in one of them pods the size of that man. He should change his name from the ruler to the shipping container or the unit. That man
Hey,
is
the unit,
huge.
the unit. I like it. But I want to touch upon the on the women's Royal Rumble because it was by far for me the better of
Oh
the
yeah.
night. Like the because it was I don't know it just seemed like they had multiple like like small shock factors, like obviously like a couple of betrayals, a couple where you thought there was going to be like right at the start, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They just they kept like going at each other like I could do it if I wanted to. But yeah, it was one of those where it kind of showed off like a couple more, if you know what I mean. Like I mean, Anna James came in at number 3. She lasted for almost half an hour. Like
She was brilliant. She made a good performance when she came in as well. She
yeah,
gave both Charlotte and Alexa a go, and it made her look like strong.
yeah.
Made her look a bit stronger, and it made her look like she could be something else apart from being Julia's sidekick.
Who was it that
And
who was it that she she backdropped Nia, didn't she? She picked up Nia.
yeah, I mean, right. I mean, I seen onto sorry, back onto Charlotte and Alexa. There was when obviously Alexa got eliminated, Charlotte looked like as if she was annoyed at herself. Not in the character sense though. She looked as if like because it looked like she was supposed to catch Alexa
Yeah,
and she didn't. And I seen the look on Alexa's face. It was absolute shock because she knew that wasn't supposed to happen. And them two, obviously, yeah, it's two of the best two of the best women ever to do it. Um, obviously they can make mistakes. It happens. It's not the end of the world. But the outcome of the match, I feel like, was set in stone from start to finish. Liv Morgan was to win,
yeah.
and I
Without
feel
a
like
doubt.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
The
no, I
men's one,
agree.
I feel like that was the same as well, unfortunately, and
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
but I agree. But the women's Royal Rumble like was so much better. Um, Obviously, once again, showed off more talent than the men's did, 100%. Like obviously, Kiana James, surprising entry early on, but still performed well. Um, Lola Vice was pretty decent. Soul Brooker was really really good. Obviously Jordan Grace, absolute powerhouse, like did really good. Um, I'm interested to see what they do with Natty because like I just don't understand her being involved. But we'll see what they do with that. I don't know
It
if obviously anything
gives,
happened.
to me, it gives the mid card a bit of a bit more intrigue and interest,
Oh,
rather than having it was literally Maxine versus Becky, and I feel like giving it a bit more interest, and I feel like this Natty is here till about, I reckon Natty and Maxine and
yeah,
Becky have like a triple threat chamber where AJ Lee comes back and either costs Becky the title or she comes back afterwards and attacks Becky, and then they have a match at Mania for the belt. Something like that. I feel like that should be where I don't think it should be where they go with it, because there's other people I'd rather see fight Becky for that belt, but
yeah.
it's where they will. It's ultimately, at the end of the day, it's where the money is.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, just if we just go off of people that were in the Rumble, like for me, mid card fighters that could go for it, and like for the US title or the Intercontinental title, like I'm just gonna throw all the names out, be it Raw or SmackDown, and even with like alliances and so forth. Like first of all, Kiana, I'm gonna go in order. So Kiana James easily, Ivy Nile easily, Lola Vice. Yeah, she's on AAA, but easily could have a match. Candice LeRae easily, Sol Ruka, Roxanne. Like she's not going for the main card. Obviously, Liv's just gone and won the Rumble. Raquel's just had a title match. I don't know how that ended, so don't say anything.
Oh,
But then
I'm
obviously
not talking about that.
Maxine, Natty, well, throw a Lash Legend in there. Let her stomp someone. Zelina, put her back into it. Chelsea Green doesn't have the title. Um, Kyrie Sane,
Mm.
Bailey. Like,
It feels like a lot of these people, though, that you have to run out here, have either other things going on because they're trying to bolster the women's tag division, which I like, don't get me wrong.
oh, which
And I
they
feel
did,
like that's going to end at WrestleMania, but then the mid cards might get a bit better.
but it's one of those where they've obviously I don't know why Nikki Bella was going for the main title because Nikki Bella, since coming back, has been slow. She's been lethargic. She just looks unfit compared to the people that she's fighting. She looks knackered halfway through a fight. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
20 minutes, 7 minutes in. She's basically going, "Give me my inhaler, I'm dying." And that's basically why they brought Brie Bella back as well. Obviously, she wanted to come back. Obviously, uh, what's his name? What's Bree's?
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel Bryan. He literally said in an interview, Brie wants to come back, but she wants to come back to a tag team. So they brought Brie back. They're gonna tag team. They're gonna go after the belts easily. Um, but it's so many people that could go for a mid card.
I mean,
They're just not prioritizing it.
on to the subject of the Bellas being a tag team. Some people don't like it. I can get why. It feels like a very nostalgia based tag team,
No,
but they
came
were the
out.
original women's tag team.
I don't care. They came into the Rumble looking like Thing One and Thing Two from Cat in the Hat.
Yeah,
If you
but
don't get
they,
that reference, just Google it.
I do get the reference. They were the original, like, women's tag team. They were like they were doing tag team moves before women's tag team matches were even a thing, really. And like when they used to just switch mid match, it was clever, and I loved it. And to me, I feel like they should get a bold take. They should get the belts at some point.
Oh, that's a very bold take because, in my opinion, bold take, they should both just leave and grow up. Because at this point, like, you're well past your prime. Like, if you're given the belts, it is purely just because the Bellas are back. They have to get the belts at some point. And
Nostalgia.
if they're getting the belts, let's be honest, they're not beating Rio. They're not beating Lash and Naya. They're not beating Kabuki. They shouldn't beat Judgment Day. The only and the only people that they could possibly beat, just because they put them down as one of the weaker tag teams, is Bailey and Lyra. But realistically, that's a good tag team as well that just keeps getting beaten. Like,
Yeah.
realistically, there's not a single tag team that they should beat other than maybe Julia and Kiana, because they're not a tag team. It's a wrestler and a manager, but it's pointless in my opinion. Um, like, they're bringing them back for nostalgia. They'll probably both be done by the end of the year. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Nikki even got to the end of last year. Never mind continuing to be in it this year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know if it's what comes to your mind, but the thing that makes me realize how past it Nikki is when she took that devil's kiss and she wasn't even, she was just laid down. Like, it was like they're supposed to be on their knees. She couldn't even keep her knees under herself. Like, she was laid down. Her arms weren't moving. Genuinely, they could have ended the fight there and said that was she was unconscious. It was awful.
They could have, yeah, I see what you mean. But to me, I don't really like to think of it. I don't like to think about them being past it. That only they know
Oh yeah,
when they know that they can't physically do it anymore. I feel like there are obviously it's a very unique move, the Devil's Kiss. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do anything like it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments though, and please forward me a link to a video of this wrestler doing it, because it's probably some wrestler I've never heard of, even though I'm an encyclopedia when it comes to these people. Still, I feel like they will win the tag team championships, and this is my reason for it. 25 years to the day
no.
there was the TLC 2 at WrestleMania 17. I feel like they are going to do a women's TLC
Oh,
to
no.
honor it, and I feel like the Bellas are going to be the ones to win it, because if they don't want to make anyone lose conclusively, but they want the Bellas to get the belts, that's one of the ways they could do it.
As long as it's for one night, like Lyra and Becky. like,
Yeah.
like exactly like last year, just one night, and then the next night just have them lose to whoever's holding it again. Um, but a little, like, we'll go away from the negative and we'll go to the sad, because I won't lie. As much as it was once again Sammy's chance. The fight didn't even intrigue me. Never mind, whilst I was watching it. So like we kind of knew Drew was going to keep the belt. Sammy might, he might win the elimination. We'll see what happens with that. But for me, I just don't see a point in mentioning it unless there's anything you want to add about the Drew and Sammy fight.
Not much, other than I feel like it was a good. The commentators did a good job of informing everyone on the actual statistics around the fight and how Sammy never beaten Drew, still hasn't, and how Sammy didn't actually lose it in Saudi Arabia or the Middle Eastern area
Yeah.
until that night, but and how he never won a world title. They did well of keeping everyone informed, as if it was to say like a boxing or UFC event. They did everyone like keep it like informed of actual stats surrounding it,
Yeah.
which made it look a lot better than what it was. Obviously, it was a very short build up, but Sammy definitely they gave it a go. It was good, but still, the women's match was the best match of the night to me. Uh, Other than, well, say best match of the night, it was women's was the best for a different reason to what I'm going to go on to now, and that was AJ versus Gunther. Um, Gunther, yeah, I do like Gunther. I really, really, really think he is the most evil person on the planet. The way he's portrayed as the most nastiest person ever, and I like it. It's
Well,
good. It's good for his character.
they needed that, didn't they? Because I did see a clip earlier on where I think it was Santi. Um, he said they needed an out and out heel because all of the heels in WWE right now are likable.
Yeah,
Like just the Judgment Day, for example, that technically is a full team of heels, and every single one of them is liked by majority of the fans. Um, even
agreed.
even ones that are like like heel title holders. Drew, people love Drew. Jacob, technically a heel. Becky, I don't like Becky, but a lot of people like Becky, and
I
it's
do.
like there's no out and out heel that makes you hate them. And with the career killer, it's what they've done with Gunther. Which I will say, I appreciate the gimmick. I appreciate the character they've given him, but why'd you have to take away AJ, man? I like AJ.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a little sad because I love AJ myself.
Yeah.
Brilliant wrestler.
Like
My opinion, best to ever do it, but
I was watching TNA before I was watching wrestling because TNA was like when I was a kid, I couldn't afford premium shows. I couldn't afford premium channels. TNA was I don't even remember what channel it was on. I just remember it was on and I watched it and
something like Spike TV or something like that.
English. It was probably Challenge or something. No
Yeah,
English.
some old, like,
Yeah.
ancient. Oh, there's another one as well.
But
There was another one. I can't remember what it was called. I'll have to find it. But there's an old channel that I used to watch TNA and Impact on as well.
I remember AJ from TNA, and it was mesmerizing. Like, and just seeing him now, like, obviously, obviously not watching TNA for years, and then obviously him coming to WWE, it was one of those where, like, obviously as a kid, it's like these are different universes, and now it's all just one big universe, and like
Yeah,
they talked about each other, but then next thing you know, you see people like moving companies, and it's good in a way, but it's like with AJ, you can just tell he has so much more to give, and in
he
that
does.
fight, like with Gunther, um, he played it very well. Like obviously they're all extremely fit. They're not going to get like battered that much, so he played it very well to show that he got battered that much. Um, and then I think what was worse for me, it wasn't even like after the fight where he took the gloves off and put them back on. It was Dan Angler. Dan Angler at the end was literally screaming AJ, and that was heartbreaking. It was like even he didn't want it to end.
Yeah. To me, the entire thing about AJ's retirement, it's sad to see him go from the WWE, but I know, as somewhere in me knows, because his contract's up in February, if there's one thing that
A little spree.
is going in the back of my head, he's still gonna keep going. He's been to pretty much every major promotion in the world, barring one, and we all know which one that is. And me myself, I'm not against AW. I'm not going to say I'm against it because it's not it's not a bad product. I just prefer WWE. It's easier to access for English watchers. AW here is put on a basic, we'll call cable show, just for any Americans who want to know. It's put on a basic cable show, but it's aired 2 weeks later. So whatever is being put on the telly, I'm seeing it 2 weeks later than what it's actually been done.
Yeah,
So I'd need to watch if I see it all on TikTok before I actually see it properly. So this is why I don't watch it.
yeah,
But I feel like he should go there if it would give him a lot more people to fight. In terms of it will give him a lot more people to cover. In terms of who he needs to go back after. I mean, well, we know how all the very first time when AJ held the belt, him and John Moxley. Well, back then Dean Ambrose had a bit of a thing. Be interesting to see him versus Edge. Again, my hero. Be nice to see him versus Christian Cage would be good to see. Him versus FTR, the revival. There's lots of other members there. Him versus MGF would be nice to see. Yeah, a lot like other names that I may not have mentioned yet, but that's it. We'll not talk about that. This is WWE because this is what we watch. We see this every week.
I mean, I will. The only thing I will add in is I am always intrigued by AEW, but for me, like the way that it makes me feel when watching them, it's so brutal. Like the amount of times that people have been like hit with like an actual spike, like a proper spike bat, like across the back multiple times, thrown on a bed of nails. It's brutal, and I cringe watching it. So I like cringe in like a pain way. Like I can't watch more than a few clips, and I'm like, right, that's enough for me. Let's go back to, you know, happy land of WWE.
Yeah,
But
I see your point. It is a very brutal product.
oh,
It's
absolutely.
yeah, it is. It is. I agree, and I feel like it's for a hardcore. It feels like the hardcore matches in any other product aren't even anywhere near the standard of just a no DQ match in AEW.
It's brutal.
Just a match where you can't get disqualified. You will see some form of stupid fire nails to hit off somebody or something crazy like that. Don't be wrong.
Honestly,
Good for
honestly,
some people, not for me
ne-
personally.
what AEW will probably end up doing next is like something with a bow and arrow. Like I'm
I actually
surprised
wouldn't
that's
put that past someone.
not been a thing. Like a flaming bow and arrow in a no DQ. Like watch them do like a no DQ middle age match where they're fighting with swords and shields. Someone gets shot with an arrow. Like that's the kind of thing that I think of when it comes to AEW.
I suppose I see your point. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we'd seen someone just get like hacked in the shoulder with a sword.
Yeah, like you could see it go in, you could see the bone, it'd be brutal. But is there anything you'd like to add before we go towards finishing off for today?
No, nothing else. I mean, everything I think we've covered. Um, other than to me, if this was a point that I must say to the audience. So, in terms of Gunther's actual sort of accomplishments in terms of his retirements that he's done, there's 3 names to that list, all of which were kings of respective companies. AJ Styles, TNA, Goldberg, WCW, and John Cena, WWE. Who, to me, is the king of AEW that is close to this retiring age? Just saying, it is there to be thought about. So, if please add some comments in on who you think the king of AEW is, and whether or not Gunther will retire them, and your reasons for which.
There's another one that should have been in the Royal Rumble. Where was Santino Morella? I would have loved that.
God.
But I think to finish it off, I won't lie. I've gone to Reddit, and I'm gonna have a little scroll at some hot takes just to get Reese's reaction.
Yeah,
You know,
here we go. The
let's
proper pro
it's
wrestling fan.
it's not a long one, but let's stop right there. Um,
It's going to be a bad one, isn't it?
oh, 1 minute. I'm seeing if there's a reply. Oh, it's been deleted. So you know what? I'm gonna say it. Someone has put in this subreddit, I hate Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't get why people think he's the GOAT, just couldn't bear watching him. Someone asked why, and they replied and then deleted their comment. So we'll go off of that. Do you think Stone Cold was overrated or maybe a bit pushed too much?
No. My answers for which, well, it's put it simply for everyone who likes a nice simple answer. No. To put it in English, fuck no. I could put it in 5 different languages if you want on no. And three of the words also are no.
So like I won't lie. Obviously, I am out of us two. I'm clearly the noob. Um, I need you to give me some good fights for a Stone Cold because the only thing I remember from Stone Cold is every now and then he rode a quad and always everywhere and anytime he was drinking. So I need some good fights from Stone Cold, to be honest with you, because I don't remember any, to be honest with you.
All right. Okay.
You don't have to do it right now. You don't have to do it right now.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head now. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold WrestleMania 13. I want to say comes to mind. But if you give me a few seconds, I'll have a quick think. Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold King of the Ring 1997. Always a brilliant one. To watch any Shawn Michaels Stone Cold's great. There's a match that comes to mind, but yeah. I tell you what, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Lord Voldemort himself on the 31st of May 2001 SmackDown. Lord Voldemort being he who shall not be named Chris Benoit. You've got any Bret Hart versus Stone Cold match, to be fair, but to me, the absolute standout, I would say, would be Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle at SummerSlam 2001.
Okay.
That's my personal pick
Well,
that I'd give you. I mean, if you want a bit more of a extreme side of match, you could always go with the 3 stages of Hell versus Triple H at No Way Out 2001. But
okay. Yeah.
other than that,
I'll give
yeah,
that.
not much else I could actually say in terms of Stone Cold matches, but there are other reasons that have that obviously lead to why Stone Cold wasn't overrated at all.
Okay.
But if you want, do you want me to go in it? I can give you a couple.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll go in it. Why not? I don't see why not.
No.
I shall have a little think now. So Stone Cold, he's
This isn't
obviously
supposed to be
not
a Stone Cold
overrated.
segment,
To
Reese.
me, I see a lot of things. His promo work, always great. And there's obviously his actual in-ring work. Yeah. Obviously, people like nitpick at it because it's not out and out flying around like lunatics. He's not like Will Ospreay level of professional wrestler. Will Ospreay is amazing, and I will hold my hands up high and probably say one of the best technical wrestlers ever. But definitely not. Definitely not in that level. Stone Cold is, but he's got his own. He's got his own things going for him. He was at a time where anyone could be champion, and he was champion quite a few times, and he made something of those moments that he had.
I will take your word for it. As I said, obviously nothing really comes to mind. But I will. I'll definitely give those a go. Right. So next one is where's it gone? I saw it earlier. Io Sky is not that good. She is put over by her charisma and the way that she acts, the way she acts. Sorry, and that she's not that good of an in-ring performer.
Who was that? Sorry.
Io Sky,
Oh,
which you know what I won't lie.
That's
I feel like she's put in good
I'll just
matches.
have to think about that one. That's a bit of a strange one. That
I think she gets put in good matches against people that you know meld with her style well. And obviously she's been
your
put
Sky not really a good
good
ring performer.
in good.
Why would someone even think about saying that? That is just daft. To me, she is a very, very good in-ring performer in terms of actually how she does things. She's
Yeah.
great. Her mic work obviously could do some work, but she's not terrible. In-ring wise, she's probably one of the best out there in the women's roster. Definitely one of the top 5, I'd say. But she does have a few things I think she could work on. Maybe sometimes timing's not the best, but she's mostly great with that. I feel like her tag team work is a bit strange. It feels like she's a single star paired with another single star put together. But that's something that can't really be taught. You have to like just build that over time. Nothing really too mental. What I'll do is I'll have a good sort of think about that and what else you could work on. But there isn't really too much else that she needs to me. But yeah. So other than that, people, we'll probably do this once every week or once every couple of weeks with the Reddits. But I hope you enjoyed a bit of a different sort of episode where we just talked a bit. To me, I enjoyed it. It's great. Better than just our usual, just talk through every single thing of that week because, it was a bit long, 2 hours. This one's a bit shorter, so please like, subscribe. Feel free to comment on all the points that I've made that were incorrect, and I'll be sure if you do comment, I will comment back on them and tell you how incorrect you were. And just so you know, you'll love my interaction because at the end of the day, it's good when we're all interacting together, and I'll love to hear from anybody who wants to watch or listen to any more of our wrestling views.